Appreciation is due the millions of American men and women who have enrolled in civilian protection services, completed long hours of training, and prepared themselves for the protection of the home front in the event of an air raid. The city of Seattle expressed this appreciation on the evening of June 13th, 1943, with an outpouring of 35,000 citizens to witness a thrilling review at the University of Washington Stadium. 10,000 air raid wardens, auxiliary firemen, auxiliary police, emergency medical service volunteers, and engineers gave a 90-minute demonstration of what to do and where to go when the air raid sirens sound and enemy planes attack. And as they marched onto the stadium field, spectators thronged into the massive arena to fill the great tiers of seats banked high against the setting sun until the giant horseshoe was jam-packed with one of the greatest crowds in Seattle history. The typical city block is alive with late afternoon shoppers unaware that enemy planes are approaching the city laden with high explosives and incendiary bombs. And here are the planes, a flight of fighter bombers coming in from the ocean, flying low and fast. The anti-aircraft batteries open fire. Bombs hit the duplex and are burning in the attic. Slight panic has overcome the housewife as she runs out to call for help. Air raid wardens were on the alert. Here comes a pump can crew to attack the fire. Other pump can crews arrive. Soon, wardens have 3 solid streams of water playing against the bombs in the attics. The one on the right is burning more fiercely because that attic is filled with trash. These bombs may explode any time from 1 to 7 minutes after they fall. These girls fail to take cover on the first warning and find themselves in danger. A blister gas bomb has exploded nearby. The girls' clothing becomes contaminated. Air raid wardens take charge and direct them to the nearest doorway. The girls take off their contaminated clothing and go inside to cleanse themselves quickly and thoroughly to avoid injury. Specially trained decontamination squads from the engineering unit come out to cleanse gas-contaminated objects. The men of the unit are clothed head to foot in protective garments and equipped with shovels and brooms. The men post signs and spread a slurry of chloride of lime. The bombers come a second time. High explosives crash into the power station and corner grocery. The power line is hit. Telephone lines are down, disrupting communications. Wardens on patrol calmly notify civilian protection headquarters and await the arrival of repair crews. As a fire truck reaches the duplex, power company linemen start repairing the broken lines. From a nearby army post, a squad arrives in answer to the call from a bomb sergeant who has reported an unexploded bomb buried in the vicinity of the power station. The bomb disposal squad takes over at once. The bomb is dug from the ground. The army truck is backed up to the half-ton missile. Lifting gear is attached, and the bomb is loaded onto the truck. An army expert will deactivate the delicate firing mechanism, and the bomb will be destroyed. Medical care is given under the expert direction of physicians thoroughly experienced in treating for shock and asphyxia. These 3 victims have been rescued from the burning buildings and laid out on the ground to await medical care. The one on the right is moving as though in pain, possibly from a fractured leg. A doctor examines the patient carefully for injuries. The nurse takes the data furnished by the doctor, writes it on a tag, and pins the tag to the clothing, thus making it possible for medical care to begin immediately when the casualty reaches the hospital. The center casualty is apparently a victim of shock, while the one on the left is suffering from asphyxia. Naturally, the asphyxiated victim is the first to receive attention. The auxiliaries are called to take over, while the ambulance drivers bring stretchers. Loading the casualty on the stretcher in the proper manner is a specialized art. Here is a typical field team of the Emergency Medical Service in action. Scores of these teams are organized to function at once if an emergency occurs. And now, with the more serious cases cared for, the doctor examines the fractured leg. The injury is just above the knee, and it calls for a traction splint. The long boards are placed properly on the leg. The impressive thing about this entire spectacle is the large number of volunteers, each performing the task for which he was trained. The work of all these specialists is carried on swiftly and quietly. Long months of study and practice are paying big dividends now and will be of enormous value to the community in case of a real raid. The whole event is a demonstration of the power and strength of civilian defense. This show, The Bombing of Seattle, is a small-scale reproduction of what can happen in any city of America.